Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
How are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm not on the block today, so I get to relax. So it's always good. It's always a lot of prep. So I enjoy the weeks off. What about you guys? Running around a bit?
Yeah, I've had a busy morning, but I'm all set, ready to go.
So welcome everybody.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, June. I'm guessing it's Cheryl. Susan, hello, welcome. Friday cookie lunch break. If you guys missed last week, you can watch it on replay on Facebook and YouTube. And two of us decorate. Today's my day off. So Amber of SweetAmbs will be kicking it off, followed by Hanny of Haniela. Hello, Rachel, Debbie. Hello. Hello, Susan, Karen. Are you ready to go, Amber?
I am.
So let's do the camera dance. Here, I think it's this here. There we go.
All right. So
you guys can, sorry, Amber, you guys can pop your questions in.
Are you going to show?
We're gonna be, yeah, we're celebrating Marlon's birthday. So I made a special.
Very nice. Very nice. Beautiful.
So I tried to recreate sea glass. Here's some more of these that you can see. You get a better idea of what.
Marlon, you were telling me that blue sea glass is the rare one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So you have to find. So there you have a lot of sea glass. It's awesome.
Gorgeous. I love it.
Thank you. Wow, I'm so glad. All right, so this obviously has a few steps that I had to record ahead of time. So I will go through the steps on how to make this. Okay, so the first thing I did was, here we go. So I'm just tearing the cookie dough into little pieces for my sea glass. I just wanted them to be like kind of round, natural looking shapes. And I just baked those as usual, about 10 minutes in the oven. Anybody else getting an echo, or is that just me?
I'm getting an echo.
There's a slight one, but.
Sorry. I have to.
Anyway, so I got to show this again because it's the second half of the video shows the icing. All my cookie recipes are in my Patreon. I also listed these in my coffee shop. This is just that spiced cookie recipe that I used last week for my gingerbread house. And then I ice them. I put them on a cooling grid because I want the icing to be all over the sides and it's going to drip off. So you want it to be able to drip off through that cooling grid just so it doesn't like create feet on the cookies. So I just gave it a little tap to smooth it out. So after I did this, I kind of realized that you don't really need to start with like blue and pink and green. You could really just do all of these in white because I'm going to be painting them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just do them in white. But I had these colors on hand anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. Okay, so that's the sea glass. And then when those are done, they're just like, you just let those dry and then you've got your little cookies to paint, which I'll show you in a minute. The other thing I did was I made these seashells and I made my own mold using Amazing Mold Putty, which you can get it on Amazon and you can get it. I got mine at Michael's. It's in the craft store. So this is like you can use it for chocolate. You can use it for soap, like any kind of material that you can put in here, you can use it. So this is modeling chocolate. So I'll just show you. I just added a few little dots of peach food coloring to that and mixed it in. I didn't want it to be completely mixed in because I wanted a little bit of marbling there. And you can use fondant, but I like to use modeling chocolate because I think it tastes a lot better than store-bought fondant anyway. If you're making homemade fondant, then of course that's going to taste delicious. But I just love the way modeling chocolate tastes. So I dusted it with cornstarch, and then I pressed it in there. And then you do have to pop this into the fridge or the freezer to firm up because modeling chocolate gets really soft. And then once it's a little bit more firm, you can just pop that out of the mold, and then you've got your shells. So these have been, I mean, I made these days ago and they're still soft. It doesn't really harden the way that fondant does, which is good for eating, but not good if you're going to be like shipping the cookies. Or so you don't want to like stack anything on top of these. Oh, that's a good question about the recipe is the beer, the one that they made the beer from is the orange cardamom recipe. So this one is not that, but that's like my usual recipe.
That's on in your coffee shop and in your group, right?
Yeah. So just if you go to my coffee shop, you'll see. I don't know. It's just like my original recipe. So sometimes I don't say that it's orange cardamom in the title, but you'll see in the description. And then what happened? And then okay, so to make this kind of like weathered wood effect, I'll show you that next. So I'm mixing powdered food coloring. This is from sugarpaste.com. It's just matte color. I'm using white and Wedgwood blue. I mixed it with a little bit of alcohol. And then I'm just cutting my sheet of cookie dough. This is the orange cardamom recipe.
That's a handy ruler.
Yeah. So now I'm painting that mixture onto the cookie that's on the raw dough. So I used alcohol because I wanted it to dry very quickly to give it like a chalky texture. And then just took the ruler again to mark 1 inch increments on there to make like my wood planks. And then I used the scribe tool to draw the wood grain in there. This is all before you bake it.
Yeah, I thought it was too perfect so that it would happen on its own. You know?
Say that again?
I thought it was too perfect of a wood grain that it would just happen in the oven.
Oh, yeah. I'll try to get a close-up of how it turned out. Okay. So then I baked it as like I normally would. Okay. So you can see on the edges that it like cracked even more, which is how you get that weathered kind of look. But it really only cracks in the places where the cookie dough spreads and like puffs up a little bit. So in the middle, it didn't puff as much as on the edges. So you don't really get that cracking here, but I got it a lot around the edges.
Beautiful.
So that's how that turns out.
Everybody's loving it.
Thank you. And then I also did one with the like thinner planks, but I didn't really like that as much. I like it better with the wider.
So
we are on Instagram today.
How is it looking on there?
We're on Instagram for the first time today, trying to multi-stream.
Yes, you can also catch us on Facebook and YouTube. Hi, Sally. Olga is here. Jeremy, Debbie. Thanks for joining us.
So now I'm going to paint. Okay. I'm using airbrush colors today because a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago, Marlon had mentioned that she uses the airbrush. You use airbrush colors for painting. Did you say that at some point?
Yes.
Because I don't get that the clumpiness of the job. Yeah. And I tried it and I love it. So that's what I'm using today. This is Chef Master airbrush color. So for the sea glass, I had a reference image on my phone. I just Googled sea glass pictures. So I feel like it's hard to recreate the look of glass.
That is a tough one.
Yeah. So what I noticed about the images is that they all pretty much had like a very dark edge, and then the reflection was sort of just off, to the side. I mean, depending on where the picture is taken from, the reflection is in different places. But for these, I just tried to keep them all in the same. So like if the light is all coming from the same direction, so that way when you have them all together, it kind of looks like glass. So I'll start with my dark blue on the outside. And then I just want it to fade as I go in toward the middle.
Karen is asking, do you still mix the airbrush paint with alcohol or no need?
I added a little bit to this just to dilute it somewhat. And I also have just plain alcohol over here. So when I need like a really light shade, I can just dip that into there and just kind of blend it.
Everybody's loving your nails and matching.
Oh, thank you. I was on Instagram Live this morning and I made some cookies to match these nails. There's a photo of them in my stories on Instagram and on Facebook, actually, if you want to see those.
Actually, Olga, Marlene made glow-in-the-dark cookies, but not with tonic water, right? You used glow-in-the-dark.
It was I think it was like God, I'm trying to think. Rolcom came out with this brand that does a glow in the dark kind of fluorescent. You need black light.
I haven't tried tonic water. I don't know if it would be enough in the royal icing to do anything. Have you tried anything like that, Amber?
I have not. How does that work with tonic water?
I guess you use it in icing.
But it's like it reacts to black light somehow, or what?
I guess I don't really know a lot about it. I remember reading about it or wanting to try it, but never did.
I did not have much success with it.
With the tonic water?
No.
So now I'm using that same white powdered food coloring that I was using before on the cookie to get that wood grain look. So now I'm just doing my highlights.
Happy birthday, Marlene. Elizabeth says happy birthday. So Olga, I don't know. I have no idea about turmeric. I just know turmeric stains everything. Turmeric and beetroot red powder to make things glow. I don't know. Are you looking for some Halloween ideas to make things glow?
Okay, so then you could do the same with the green, and then you can also do a pink one. Any color you want, really. I just have green and blue and pink here, so that's what I did. And then
You're jumping for joy when you find those on the beach, the green and the blue.
oh, yeah.
The blue, like the old Coca-Cola bottles, are kind of like a bluish. They're more common, but that super dark blue is rare.
It's such a nice color, like
What are the
the
bottles?
real ones.
Why is it so rare? What are the bottles? Like what kind
They
of?
were,
Like is it?
what's the, how do you say, apothecary? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like their pharmaceutical.
Oh, the pharmaceutical, because
Oh, that's cool.
here, you know what? Like, how long does it take to weather like the glass?
I think it's, the time would vary based on the environment, right? If you don't need little rocks and you need this really good combination of stuff to make it weather.
Because here they sell water. It's like it is brand of water in blue glass, very nice blue glass. I could ship you some, and it can. I'll mark it, and then 20 years ago, like, oh, we found it.
Don't they have, I've seen like they sell these little tumblers that you can kind of create your own. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to put the sand in, and it's
I'll
quite a
tell you what.
production.
So my sister-in-law, they are in Italy on a vacation, right? And I'm like, "Are you collecting sea glass?" And she said, "No, I'm throwing that out. It's trash." I told her that she needs to start collecting it because it's not trash. I sent her some pictures for inspiration. She's very crafty. She had no idea like the things you can make with it.
Oh, wow.
I was like, you can't be throwing it out. Like, did you find any blue ones? I'm like, oh no, I'm cleaning up the beach. She had no idea.
Wow.
So I'm hoping she's collecting some.
Yeah.
How big
So
is
now I'm
this
just,
cookie? This looks like a pretty big cookie.
Yeah, this is 5 by 4.
Mm-hmm.
5 inches by 4 inches. I don't know what it is in centimeters.
I'm going to answer a question. So Sandra, yeah, really it's what you like that's the way to go. So if you find that it's faster to airbrush a white base, then do that. It gives a completely different look. I do have, if you look in my past live streams, I did a Marie from the Aristocats movie. You can see kind of a version of a airbrush painted cookie. It just looks completely different. When you add food color to the icing, it gives just a different finish, and it's a question of personal preference. Like people who use watercolor over oil paint.
Now I'm going to put, this is just flood consistency icing. The color is brown mixed with a little bit of lemon yellow to make like this golden color. So now I'm doing my sand, which is cookie crumbs. So I took the rest of these and just put them in the food processor, like the ones that I hadn't iced. I have white sparkling sugar and gold sparkling sugar in here.
And some pieces of royal icing.
Yeah, so remember last week I did the roof on my gingerbread house, the beach house, with these little pieces of icing that I had colored with a little bit of pearl dust. So I crumbled those up and put them in here. So now I'm just going to sprinkle that on.
I think it looks more realistic with all the little, like different textures and different things in there.
Yeah. And then I think actually, you know what, I did it so that I put the things in first because then otherwise they won't stick. So I'm just going to move a little bit of this out of the way and then put your shell.
The treasures.
Yes.
Treasure.
And then you can put some sea glass on the other side.
Yes, that's true, Jeremy. Certainly more kind of interest for sure.
So then these like larger pieces, you're gonna have to kind of push those in to make sure that they stick. And then you let this dry. Don't try to get rid of the excess yet. Just let it dry. And then once it's dry, just brush everything off and then you can go on to the next part. So I have one here that I did yesterday.
If anybody's planning on making this cookie, I suggest you get your box that you're going to gift it and then measure your square that size, right? That would be a good way to package it.
Oh yeah, definitely. So this one, it was like a kind of, I mixed the pink and the blue to make kind of a purpley.
I'd like to find that one.
Yeah. I saw some like pinkish ones in the picture. What kind of glass would that have been from?
I mean, there's all kinds of sites that explain, because there's people that it's like a big time like activity for them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so you can, there's all kinds. I found a piece in Prince Edward Island that I think was maybe like, remember back in like kitsch kind of glass decoration stuff? You know what I mean? Like there was like, it looked like just these sculpture-ish kind of glass things. I think maybe some stuff is just that, just glass art.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Some kitschy stuff.
Yeah. So I was trying to think like, okay, so this one I wrote your name, but I was thinking like what other beachy kind of words, like I was thinking I could write relax or just write beach. Like what do you guys think I should write on this one?
Suggestions, people. What do you want to write on the, it has, well, you could write it smaller. The longer, the smaller the letters are going to have to be.
Yes. So shorter words are better.
A snappy beach slogan. We have to wait a bit for the, my favorite color is probably, it's a tie between pink and teal, I think. I like those two.
So this is what I do when I...
Oh, this is cute. I think that'd be good, Jennifer, on a surfboard.
I like calm is nice, yeah.
Don't drown, yes, sure.
Oh, that's good, yes. Oh, this is nice. I do see calm, like when I look at it, or adventure.
I do like calm, yeah. So anyway, when I'm about to write on a cookie, if I don't do like a template, I'll just write it on paper first to practice.
Serenity Now. What was the movie where he says that? Serenity Now.
That was from Seinfeld.
Oh, was it?
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Can't even see it. So the thing about the letter C is that's kind of hard for me to do. We'll do it. We're just gonna go for it. I was just thinking, like, I hope, like, if I misspelled it and wrote clam instead of calm, that would also be kind of fitting.
Or why not?
I mean, yeah, you could write like a whole phrase on here.
What is it? Does he care, don't care?
Yeah. All right, so I've got my medium consistency icing. That holds a soft peak. It's good for piping lettering and like filigree, little details like that. And this is my PME tip 1.5, which is my favorite for writing. Here we go. I'm going to just try to space it before I pipe it.
Keep calm and beach on.
Oh, I do like that.
We're not talking because we feel for her. If we were in that position, we would also want some quiet. So we were quiet because it's
And I'm not even breathing over here.
No, it's not
it's the surgery of like that's very precise stuff. And then it's live, so
anything can happen. Yes.
So Francine here had because I mean I think you write relatively often on your stuff. She's saying I heard the faster you write, the smoother it is. Is it true for every font? I wouldn't think so. So do you find it's better to go fast or?
I mean, it depends on your comfort level with like writing and typing, and I like going slow. But I've seen lots of decorators just,
Yes.
they just go for it, but I like to go slow and take my time with it. But I guess like sometimes if you go too slow, like it doesn't come out of the tip right. It like gets too thick and bumpy. And then sometimes if you go too fast, that your line will break. So it really just depends on, your level of comfort with the speed.
Yes, it is, Della.
So then I'll just do a little shell border around the outside. This is a tip 16 and stiff consistency icing.
So Amber, have you? Rachel wants to know: have you taken lettering classes?
No. So I follow some calligraphy accounts on Instagram, and they just watching them and like listening to their tips on writing has helped me improve my writing a lot. But I just do a lot of practicing on paper.
So if you guys weren't aware, Amber has a cookie decorating group on Patreon, and She also has now a new subscription, what we call it, group, or what would you
It's
call it?
a club.
Club. And you can sign up and get a monthly box delivered if you're, you want to have a project with the instructions and everything come to your house so that you have 12 different projects. Then there's a bunch of stuff also on coffee. We all have stuff on coffee if you guys want to just check out individual tutorials and get the templates and stuff. Here, basically the handles are Sweet. Where's my clicker here? Is it this one here? Everybody's handle is the same on pretty much all the platforms. SweetAmbs. She's got the same thing whether you look on Facebook or YouTube, whatever. Same for Haniela, the same handle. So easy to find. You just pop that in Google. Han also has her subscription club, or what is yours called? A club as well. A monthly.
Original.
You guys have photos of what they get when is that on Global?
Each month, if you subscribe, each month you'll get a new decorating kit. It's a bit of a surprise, so you don't know which kit is coming, but there are several kits that
there's different versions.
Different versions for Halloween. I have it spaced out, so there are some for Halloween, Christmas, fall.
Patreon is not an app. It's like a service, and you pay a monthly fee and then gain access to exclusive content. So Patreon was created basically to support online creators. So that's it. Well, thank you very much, Amber. I love it.
Good.
Thank you to everybody who wrote happy birthday there. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to switch.
Okay. All right. So I also prepared something for Marlene's birthday. Happy birthday. And
I like this day.
You like this day? So let me see. Okay, so first thing I'm not gonna reveal yet what I'm making. So I'm gonna show you one decoration that I'm gonna be making, and these are just simple sunflowers using yellow icing. I'm making a V-shaped cut in my piping bag. When you're making the V-shaped cut, make sure that the seam on the piping bag is on the side, and then when you are piping the petals or leaves, you want the seam to be on the top. That way you can, you'll be sure that you'll get the petals out. Now this template is available in my coffee shop. You can, there's also a JPEG version available, so you can resize it to the size of the sunflower you need, and then print it on cardstock, and you can laminate it, so to speak, with packaging tape. And then you can use it when you're piping these tiny little flowers. I didn't like that one, so let's start over. And these you can make ahead of time. Let them dry overnight, and then you can store them pretty much indefinitely in an airtight container away from sunlight and moisture. Now for the centers, I'm going to just use some brown royal icing. This should be about 20 to 25 second consistency. And then use your scribe, you put the scribe to smooth it. And then you can let those dry. All right, so the second step was baking the cookies, and then this is going to reveal what I'm making. So here is my little turntable. I'm placing a little bit of icing and parchment on the top, and I'm going to stack some cookies with cutouts. So total, I have 4 cookies with cutouts.
How intriguing.
And, and then you also want to put, notice I'm using ivory icing. Decided to use ivory icing so it wouldn't show as much when you see from the side, but then I changed my mind and my design is a bit different. So I decided to ice the cookie. Now on the top, I'm also adding full round cookie. Okay, so now I'm just moving it so it's somewhat leveled, and I'm going to ice it. So you heard Marlene. She mentioned she really likes pink, and so I decided to decorate this with a very thin layer. It's not. I know you don't like a lot of icing, so it's going to be now it looks very fake, but it's going to be ombre.
Oh,
So I'm
cool.
adding 3 shades of pink and then also a little bit of white. And we're going to pretty much scrape most of it off. It's going to just be a thin layer of icing on there.
So some cake techniques to decorate these cookies. I said you're using your cake skills.
Yes, actually, yes, I am. Now, after I did this, I realized if I had more time or had thought of it, I could easily color the dough, right? I could color portions.
Yes.
So I didn't have to do that. I would have to color it with 3 different shades of pink and then use the uncolored dough for the top. Now I'm using a palette knife to smooth it on the top. I'm not really worried if the top is not perfect. It's okay if it's a little rustic. And when you're scraping this off, I'm not wasting it. I'm actually scraping it into a small container so I can then actually reuse the icing because, like I said, I scraped most of it off. And then you also want to smooth the sides. You do need a little turntable. If you don't have it, it will work. You just have to keep turning the parchment paper underneath. It is important that you glue the bottom cookie on the parchment so it's not sliding all over your work surface.
Mm.
Actually, Marlene, she had given me this turntable, so it's remember, it was a gift from you, I think. Yes, I know it was.
Many moons ago. That looks great.
There is actually some bare cookie showing as well. So like I said, depending on the amount of icing you like, real icing, it dries hard. So I didn't want to put like a heavy coat of icing on there so you can break your teeth. You could also use other technique to do the same effect. You could use frosting sheet or other materials. Now, okay, so now I think I can actually show you. Oh, it actually fell off. All right. So here is my little piece. And it looks like this, okay? So what you do when you turn it, because of the way, the gravity, obviously, the icing that I used to ice this was pretty thick, but the gravity still, had its thing going. So what happened is you see this little lip here. So I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to use, and ideally you want to use gloves. My hands are pretty clean, so it's okay. I'm not going to but you just want to use your handy duster to kind of shave that little piece off. This is interesting. Oh, it's not really working as good as my chocolate. I have a chocolate one. It's chocolate and it works better.
Oh.
Yes, it's faster. I have it downstairs, so I have to
muscle through.
Yeah, muscle through. This is like for really fine details. Yeah, the chocolate one really works.
But how dry is that icing? How many days?
Oh, this was like you see, the cookie is actually showing. It's like maybe an hour.
Oh
No, I mean the other ones I did about an hour, but this is maybe when did I did? Earlier today. So
that's surprising. I would have thought it would have been like not, super, super hard yet.
No, it dried pretty quickly. You can also, if you don't have a zester, you can also use zester. For those of you who are just starting in cookie decorating, you can use it to shave off any kind of cookie dough, like if it bakes and it's misshaped on the edges, especially corners, squares. If that happens, okay. So this looks pretty good. All right. So I'm so glad I placed it on a towel. So now I can just toss this. All right. So now I actually baked also a cake board. Hello, Mrs. Nicole.
Hi, Grandma.
So this is a cake board, and it is thinner. This cookie is thinner than my other cookies that I use. This is about it was 1/8 of an inch, so slightly over 3 millimeters. So the other cookies are 1/4 inch. Okay. And so what I did here, so now I'm gonna, I guess you figured it out, right? This is gonna be a piñata cookie because there's a cavity. But what are we going to put inside?
I don't know. What are we putting inside?
Well, usually people put candies in their piñata cookies, but I decided to go with something different because Marlene is a coffee lover. She loves coffee, right?
So you're gonna put money?
Something better, darling. Something better.
Better than money? A plane ticket to Spain.
Oh well, it will be. What are you, a midget or something? How am I gonna fit a plane ticket in it? All right, so let's see about this filling that I prepared. All right.
Okay, let's see.
You can find it. This recipe is actually listed in my coffee shop, and I prepared this very yummy coffee flavored cookie dough.
Oh, I thought you were put like coffee beans or.
I also added a little bit of like secret ingredient in there, so you might want to check out the recipe. This is a very small batch of cookie dough because we'll be making some tiny cookies, so you don't need a whole lot. This little batch makes about 90 to 100 cookies.
100 miniature cookies.
92. Yes, 90 to 100. I mean, depending on how many you eat.
So how many calories does each of this?
Oh, this one cookie thing. Now I decided to use a different approach from people usually roll it out into a snake. I decided to skip that because I hate doing it with cookie dough. It just, yeah, I'm patient, but I don't like to do that. So I rolled it out into about 1/4 inch thick. And then I used my rolling guide to make strips, and I couldn't find my pastry wheel, so I'm using a small spatula. It doesn't matter if they are not perfect, it's okay, but I just decided to do it this way. Now, one thing to remember while you are shaping these cookies, as you'll see in a minute, I would recommend that when you're putting them on the baking sheet, to cover them with a food wrap, unless you are very, very fast, because these do take a little time to shape. Like I said, 90 to 100 cookies. And then I cut them into pieces that are about 1/2 inch thick. Okay, so some of them are not exactly the same. That's okay. Do you know what I'm making?
Wow.
I know, but.
Oh, she knows, but you don't
Yeah.
know. All right, so now we're going to shape them into ball shapes. Okay.
Bunny poop.
No. I don't know if you would. Okay. All right, so now I'm putting on a baby. I mean, I will not get it out of my head. You see, so now this is the very important step. Without this step, they're gonna look like what Marlene suggested that they look like. So you can use a knife, but I decided to go with a different route. Wanted to make them look a bit more realistic. So you don't need this amount of foil. You just need a little piece. I don't know that piece. You just need a tiny, tiny. So I shaped it into a kind of like an S. You're just going a little curve in there, okay? And then you put in the middle, but make sure, because I didn't realize that foil like this, it's very sharp, so it cuts straight through. So make sure you just cut like um, very, very shallow slit. You don't want it to be too deep, because then they open up too much, or you can even, I actually cut through some of them. And then you have to bake them. And once they are baked, they are these delicious
Super cute.
coffee bean cookies. They are about inch across. Some of them are even smaller. And that is what I'm gonna be using today to what smart pellets are. Okay, what is that?
No idea.
I don't know.
What's a smart pellet? All right, so reason I went this route kind of upside down is because I ice the cookie with the ombre style. Okay, if I was to if I wanted to fill it through the top, then this wouldn't look like this. It would be kind of uneven. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn it like this. Okay, and now we're gonna fill it with cookies. I have them here. I wish you could smell it. You could use espresso powder. Look how cute.
Super cute.
And not a whole lot of calories.
So how many fit in my cake?
Don't be so greedy. So I think we're gonna try to fit as many as possible. I mean, you're getting first of all, the cake is like, I don't know, 2 cookies. I don't know, maybe more. So 1, 2. See, I'm kind of the direction I'm using. I'm making sure that the slit is facing up.
Okay.
In case you decide to open it from the top.
How would that work exactly?
I don't know why I'm doing that way, but that's what I'm doing anyway. Like I said, if you're making this for a customer or something, I would suggest that you wear gloves. Yeah.
Just need to wash your hands.
Wash your hands, yeah, exactly. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And maybe, no, that's for me. So it's coffee beans. All right. So now the next step. Oh no, this is not happening. Did it cross? Okay. All right. So now I'm going to just pipe a little icing on here. Not a whole lot.
But you guys worked very hard for me this week.
Okay, don't interrupt. You're very special. You're very special. So that's what I did. So here is our kind of like ombre cake, but we need to finish it up, right? So remember the sunflowers. So we're going to add sunflowers, and then we have also something extra special on the top. But before we do that, this is a filter number 2, and this is just like ivory royal icing. And I'm just going to do a border on the bottom to hide the seam. I don't think it's complete. I mean, it's not too bad, right? I don't think it's really like, if you didn't have time, you don't have to, but we are here to celebrate Marlin, so we have time.
Well, she wasn't doing something very intricate there when I talked to her. I mean, she was sticking a cookie on top of the other cookie.
Oh, this will help.
Oh.
Oops.
Yes. I'll tell you, the worst birthday for me, and when I think back about it, is when I turned 25. For whatever reason, I did
Mine
not like
too.
turning 25. Yeah. It was
I
like, oh my
cried.
God, I'm just, and really, what a waste of energy. And I mean, like,
25? Okay, guys, did you went 25? Really?
Isn't
well,
that funny? I hate it. I got so upset on my 25th
I had a
birthday.
nice birthday on 25. I got a peach pie. I remember that. Peach
oh,
pie
yeah.
and
Oh, how
balloons.
nice.
It was very nice.
Well, the saying, youth is wasted on the young, is so true,
Mm.
really. Like, if
I wonder if, yeah.
to look, if you're healthy and you have, there's nothing, if you're not happy with where you are in your life, well, you're the one that can change it. So don't waste your time not being happy. Just change what you need to do to find where you want to be.
Elizabeth also cried. Oh no, she had a hard time. She didn't
But
cry, but she had a hard time.
She had a hard time, but that is the hardest thing to actually know. If you know what you want, then you are really like, it's a gift. But a lot of the times we don't even know what we want, right? No,
I feel like because making the transition from kind of being a kid into an adult is very difficult. Like, but now, like, I don't know, I'm gonna be 39, and I'm like, just feel so much better now than I did in my 20s.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I guess you have to live, to see that the stuff that we used to fret about was not a big deal, right?
Yeah.
I think the biggest, like, kind of bad thing is expectations. Like, let's say when you're 17 or 18, you're like, oh, I'm going to be here when I'm this age, and then when you're not there, you're disappointed that you're not there when maybe, you're just it's still not your time to be wherever, So expectation.
I'm going to, sorry to interrupt. I'm going to move this out of the way. No, she's her day. So we want the border to dry somewhat, so we can then paint it with gold. Because I think you also like gold and pink, no?
It's beautiful. I love the color palette.
Yeah, I know you like the pink, but we are going to make it a little more glamorous for you. So I'm using, this is Edible Art Glamorous Gold by Sweet Sticks. And this is a great product if you don't feel like mixing your luster dust with anything. We're just having fun. This is a birthday party. Come on. Do we have any drinks? Oh, 25 was awful. All I could think.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that interesting that did anybody like really love their 25th birthday?
I love my peach pie. It was very good.
Oh, you had the pie. I don't think I had pie on my
If I didn't
birthday.
have the pie, it would probably be terrible. But I had the pie. I don't know if you'll see what I'm doing. But how do you, I'm sorry. I'm going to just hold it so it's faster.
This is why cakes are so hard.
Well, you can't put the cake on its side like she just did.
Well, it's quite a small cake, so it's hard to show you because I piped these in this direction, and it's right. Like, how do you Amber? Do you paint them in the direction of the icing?
Like, I would start with, I think I do it opposite that you're doing it.
Yeah, you do.
It looks like you're starting with the tail of the bead.
Yeah, I start with the tail.
No, I don't do it like that.
You start with the top. I find it hard when I start with, okay, I'll try it your way. Maybe it will be easier and faster at least. Maybe it is a little faster. I don't know. Oh, also a little faster.
So I'm going to stop the Instagram live. If you guys want to continue watching, we're on Facebook and YouTube. It's like I think I'm an hour over there, and I don't know that I can continue.
Oh, they're gonna miss the best part.
Yeah. There's only 15 people watching on there, though. I don't usually, and I think an hour is ambitious to be live streaming on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is long.
Watch the replay on Facebook and YouTube. Bye. Not here. We're still on here.
All right, so this looks pretty good. So I'm going to now set this aside, or just here, and we are going to. Oh no, sorry. We're going to do the strawberries, sunflowers. So I've got my sunflowers here. You see, I still have some of them attached to the parchment, and it's super easy to remove them. Just
So is that in your coffee shop, your template for that, did you say?
template for the I keep wanting to say strawberries instead of sunflowers. So sunflowers are the template is in a coffee shop. Now you can make them as big as you'd like or as small as you'd like. I don't know if you can see, but these two, I also added a little bit of orange to my icing. I just marbled it with yellow just to give it a bit of more highlight in there. But if you prefer like straight yellow strawberries, strawberries.
Again.
Wow. Actually, I need to get something with strawberries. All right. So let's find the best side of this little cake. All right. So I guess here. All right. So can you see? All right. So I'm also going to use some green with leaf tip, and this is.
I saw yellow strawberries in the store. They're like really light green, yellowish color. Have you seen those?
They don't look like
They look like they're not ripe, but that's how they're supposed to be, right?
I guess, but it's like, you ever see the white asparagus?
Yeah.
Yes, here in Europe, white asparagus is more common than.
Oh, interesting.
My first asparagus I ate was white asparagus with bechamel sauce. It's very good.
Oh.
But it's very like weird looking, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't look appetizing. Like, it's not something that looks delicious.
Right. Has anybody tried those strawberries? I would like to know how they are.
I've never had those white asparagus.
Okay, let's do
I haven't either.
All right, let's do the sunflower.
These are the same kind of technique to get them that color as the asparagus.
So this is the first sunflower that I'm putting on.
Okay.
And I'm going to add the leaves. Now, when you're doing the leaves, we often make our own tip, okay? Like I did when I did the sunflowers. But when you're piping, on a cake and you want to have an extra, like I say, a length to go, like a nose. So this piping tip gives you the nose that you can then kind of utilize to pipe where you want. I don't know if I'm making myself.
Yeah. So realistically, Han, if somebody wanted to make these, let's say for a birthday party as a favor or something, realistically, is this a doable project for like multiple?
For multiple?
Yes.
You gotta really love the recipient. You really gotta love the recipient. Like, I mean, when I say love the recipient, I mean, you need to put something like this on the packaging. When you make the, and that is also cute. Available in a coffee shop. No, it is totally. I think it is. Why not? But you have to kind of make it, like a production line almost. Like you do your. I find the most time consuming was the baking, and the most annoying was the baking, because the rounds you have to have them on a baking sheet when you cut out the center. Otherwise, if you try to handle it, that's not quite that.
What is that? Yeah. Where they go like this. I watch a lot of cake
You can never
dramas.
get it like, oh no, this is pretty good.
And
Yeah, so I
then they
think
go,
having the cookie was the most time consuming, I think. But like I said, if you decide to go this way, and you could color your dough with the color, right, with these different colors, so you could skip the icing part, and just maybe use a star tip on the edge of each round, and then just pop on the sunflowers. Then yeah, you could do it. No, I mean, and you could do anything you know you you want, but it does take a little time. All right, let's do one more. I'm just gonna copy it in here. This is a really weird angle, I have to say. So I'll just hold it. Okay. And
Here
then
we meet.
oh, for the topping, I completely forgot. So we're going to, I'm going to add one more strawberry.
so I'm going to answer a question.
Yes.
So Julie wants to know how we met.
How we met on a dating site.
That's right. That's right. So cookies is how we met.
You explain how we met.
Cookies is how we met. I think it was Callie actually that created that group. Forget who created this group. It was called the Cookie.
We met. Okay, we did meet online. Flickr, it's a platform. It was like, I guess, one of the first platforms, photo sharing platforms. I think Instagram wasn't around. Facebook, when did Facebook first start? 2008?
No, I was on Facebook in like 2004.
Oh wow! So you've been on there for a long time. So we met on Flickr in one of the cookie decorating groups, right? And then, yeah.
That's it. And then Amber, well, who doesn't know Amber?
Well, Amber came later.
Yeah. Like,
I'll tell you, the thing is, and it's a terrible thing, but there's like like you have a very big following. You have all the numbers that everybody, and so it gives this illusion of that you're not approachable, right? It, like, for me anyway. And you're so not, you know what I mean? Like, you're so not that's not the case. Like, but you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
The star status. So then you're like, oh, you're not, you know what I mean? Like, you create this thing in your own mind, like turning 26 or 25.
Yeah.
and you're just so sweet. And, but it's just like, that's what holds you back to wanting to getting to know somebody, right? It's just like this imaginary barrier that you form in your own mind. So yeah.
So I don't even know, like, for me, I mean, Han and I met through a collaboration. She invited me to do a collaboration on her blog. But you and I mean, because we were in that YouTube network together.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that's probably when we really
But
connected. Right.
I think it's Han that was the orchestrator of us.
Yeah.
Each other more.
Yeah.
Because again, like, I write you occasionally, but I'm like, she's got other shit to do.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, that's like, oh, sorry, but I just mean, like, I'm like, I'm not doing. I mean, it's a lot of work, like, and all that, and you're just.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I can't talk with my hand is shaking.
So that's it. But I mean, Han is like what, kind of.
Okay, so we are definitely missing something.
Yes,
I think it's so cute.
I'm so sorry if the kitties
we are
were
missing something, so I'm going to show you one more thing.
But we've been on over an hour now. My guard is down. I accidentally swore. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. I said rabbit poop before.
So now
That's
we're going
true.
to, so for the topper, you can obviously use something easier. I decided to make it a bit more personalized. So I'm using these ugly letters that I have. And I don't have anything else. I know it's not the most beautiful thing, but yes, there are these mini letters that I put on a rectangle cookie. I know, right? Because they're
And, and,
pain.
and, and are
They're
you
really,
writing
really
more?
pain. They're really, really pain. And I tried your method with a food wrap. It didn't work. Like you can use this to cut out cookies. Seriously, it's
Oh,
like
no.
it's
What are
impossible.
they for?
I guess they are meant for fondant mainly.
Oh.
I think I have that set.
I mean, that's the only small set that I have. So then I use the pen blade. This is a pen blade that we often use, or I like to use it to cut out cookies. If I don't have a cutter, I make a template, and you can find a bunch of templates in my coffee shop that you could find handy. And so then I proceeded, and yes, thank you, Candice. Um, I inserted a little toothpick in there, and I baked it with a toothpick. Okay, so these cookies are quite small, and then once they cool, you can. And as Marlene mentioned, she also likes teal colors, so I decided to decorate the top with teal, and I am using icing that is slightly thicker. And this is my actual speed, so this is not sped up, but I think it's probably slightly sped up. So you can imagine how slow this was. It does take time to do these letters. Like you saw Amber was doing her calm writing, it does take some time. And so I let each letter crust, or at least M and A, before I pipe the letter next to it. And to make the teal, you can just use straight from a bottle teal to achieve this shade. I know it looks more like blue, doesn't it?
Oh, but during with the video, it's tough to see the true colors.
It kind of looks blue here as well. Maybe it's maybe I had it in the sunlight or something. Sometimes that will fade your colors if you have it in a direct sunlight. And then so you just continue piping your letters. And if you are new to cookie decorating and don't know what the 20 or 25-second consistency is, because this is what it is, you can find all the details on my blog, where I share all the tips and examples of using how to use different consistencies in cookie decorating.
If you guys are just arriving to the live, you can watch the replay on Facebook or YouTube. Our
Reason I'm putting, I couldn't fit the whole name on the cookie.
well, technically, that's what you call me anyway.
But we call Marlene Mar. I mean, imagine if I could only fit Ma. That would be pretty bad.
Ma?
Then I would just option for M. But I was
You
able
could,
to,
yeah, you could do a monogram.
yeah,
She was
that's what-
merciful and didn't put the actual age on the cake, I guess.
No, I was thinking about it. I actually had the cookies out, but it didn't look right. So it was just like, it wasn't a good look. I didn't like the letters I had. So these, not letters, numbers, sorry. The senior moment, yes. So you see, when you let the letters crust between piping, it gives it a more dimension. And using a cutter before I bake them, I didn't have to do any tracing on a cookie, so that also kind of helps with time. And now once it dries, I wanted to splatter these with some glamorous gold. Ideally, you want to cover your work surface when you do this, because the little cookie, it's going to take up a lot of space of splatter around you, so you want to cover your surface. And here is my little bar. I also trimmed the top, the bottom, with like I have another one here. So you want to use pliers to trim it because it was a bit too long. Okay. and then you can just stick it in your cookie. Now, where is my cookie? Here it is.
Yes, thank you, Cynthia. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
All right, now to make the hole in a cake, or sorry, in the cookie, I'm gonna use this. This is also a tool that Marlon gave me. This was my first ever scribe tool. This is very, very sturdy. I think you still use it, right? It's very sturdy. This is not gonna go anywhere. So I figured I can use it to poke a hole.
Well, I'm scared because I'm not worried about the needle tool. I'm worried about the cookie.
The cookies, yes. I'm only, yes. Well,
that's what I'm worried about.
Do you want it on your cake or not?
Well, I mean, we're on here. You may as well stab it. Let's see what happens.
So I'm using a little twisting motion. I'm not just like going in. Yeah, I'm using a twisting motion. So I think it's
okay.
Yeah. Oh, I need to make it a little bit.
They actually sell things like it's steel like that. It's like a little like a little hand drill. If you wanted to have like a tool to.
I'm just asking for
I saw Timbo one time used his Dremel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm going in with a toothpick to make the hole a little bigger. Okay. You could do this before. I mean.
Yeah, Sally was just asking if you could bake, do the hole before you bake it.
Yes, you could.
Right when it comes out of the oven.
Let me fix that. I put the swirl in the wrong position. So this way, go here.
Because when it's hot right out of the oven, it's probably your best bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you do it before, it'll potentially just go away when it bakes.
So here, Mar, this is for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
So where am I? What am I doing here?
Do you want to hold your thing, Amber? I'll do a screenshot here. I'll take this. Wait a second. What do I need to remove? I need to remove this.
I actually have two.
Oh.
Okay, this way. I'm like, okay, so clumsy. Okay, I think there's gonna be a screenshot. Uh-huh.
Did you get it?
You shouldn't say. Oh, she's not in a.
Come back.
Oh, that's why you guys can hear me. I'm talking. I'm like, yeah.
I'm like, how many screenshots is she taking?
Wait, are you gonna smash that?
And so I also made this one.
Are you gonna smash it open now?
Yeah, Jennifer wants to know, how are you getting that to me for tomorrow?
I'm still laughing. I don't know. Well, I guess you could, I don't know, package it. Royal icing, surprisingly, it's very, very strong, right? I mean, so
it is.
It would make
it's not. I mean, the only thing that would break is the sunflowers. You know, that could if they don't handle it right. But if you package it in a food wrap, it will be fine. So I also made one with a candle. Same idea. Instead of topper. Now, do we smash one?
Yes.
I think so. I think they want to see it. Here, let me go back to your.
Okay. How do we do that? Any advice on how to smash? I guess I should remove the topper.
I did my shark with a rolling pin.
Oh.
Is there one upstairs?
Maybe a rolling pin in that. I need some help. I mean, in that drawer, or maybe the meat thinner.
Oh yeah. The thinner thing would work.
Do you have are you able to record it on your end, Pan?
Oh, I don't think I'm able to record it.
Yeah, but the live is being recorded.
I'm sorry?
The live is being recorded.
Yes. I mean, should we be more sophisticated and use a knife or something?
No.
Oh my goodness, that's okay. I'm going to be destroying that. So I'm removing the topper.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to have particles of toothpick in your.
This? I should really use
she's gonna smash it.
Should I really use this?
Well, yeah, that's probably your best bet. Get ready. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
I'm so scared. Okay, happy birthday. Okay, it's like, okay.
There we go.
Wow.
Okay, so
Awesome.
and here are your lovely cookies. Didn't suffer any damage, I see.
The little cookies are perfect.
Yeah.
So there.
Oh, strawberries.
love that.
Strawberries. So my sunflower survived.
That was fun. Thanks, Han, for entertaining us.
That was difficult. Come on, Jeremy. You need a lesson. This is a coffee bean, isn't it?
So
Very
cute.
nice.
Anyway, it was kind of hard to break it, but it's done. Happy
Awesome.
birthday.
Awesome. Well, that was fun. So if you missed today's live, you can watch the replay. Amber made a beautiful beach-themed plaque cookie, and then Han made this 3D birthday cake for me. So you guys can watch that on Facebook or YouTube. You can, what do you have on the coffee? Did you put anything in the coffee, Amber, today? No. The recipe, your cardamom recipe's there.
Yep.
And Han, you have the sunflower there? Do you have anything?
And my what do you call them? Mini coffee bean.
The mini coffee bean.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a Santa template from last Friday. Oh, here he is. This template. And Amber's house is also in the coffee shop. You guys can check that out. So thanks so much for watching. See you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.